Hey guys, welcome back to the Red Room. On today's show, we're going to be talking about our favorite film scores.
Welcome back to the Writer's Room. Today we are talking about our favorite film scores. Very important to a film. Mm-hmm. I'm your host, Katie Moeller.
I'm Chrysalia.
And I'm Matt.
I'm co-host Michael, and we're coming at you live from HollywoodRedux.com.
Oh yeah, subscribe
right.
below for plenty more fun things like this.
I like how you demoted yourself to co-host.
Hey man,
It's
fine.
just easier to say, right? Co-host?
Yeah,
Co-host
we
has
just
a
went through
certain
this.
ring
It just
to it.
flows.
Yeah.
It flows, I'm
Has a
telling
certain
you.
ring to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And today we're talking about our favorite film scores, and yeah,
Okay.
there's a lot to choose from. It's pretty hard to say this is my favorite film score of all time. But we've all decided to pick one that we feel.
It was pretty tough, I have to say.
Well, I mean, you can go old. You can go like Ennio Morricone and the spaghetti western and all of his beautiful scoring that he did, and even as recently as the most recent Tarantino, he did a score.
Fantastic.
So he's still working. But you can talk about
He
John
won.
Williams. Oh, he did win.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Yay.
Ennio. God,
Yay.
he's
Congratulations.
never leave us. Please keep making movie music forever. Are you talking about John Williams? Is probably maybe the most prolific film
Fantastic.
scorer.
Absolutely.
Danny Elfman.
Yeah,
you know.
talking about Danny Elfman. I mean, there are lots of names that you can throw out
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
But
Hans
who
Zimmer.
are, yeah,
Hans Zimmer.
yeah.
100%.
James Newton Howard.
James
Like,
Newton.
come on now.
Come on, preach.
Come on
Preach.
now.
Hallelujah.
Anyway, well, what is your favorite film score? Since we have to pick it, we can talk about more that, like, maybe give us a couple that were on the cusp of your choice,
Oh,
and then
wow.
give us your choice.
Okay.
Want me to go first?
Yeah, you're up.
All right.
You're up to bat.
Well, it's easy for me. My favorite film score of all time is the Lord of the Rings oeuvre from Howard Shore. The whole
Very good
original trilogy. That music is personally for me, it got me through college finals, and among other life thresholds.
Yeah.
But in terms of what it does to the movie, I think that it elevates the movie from just fantasy to a film, a proper film with really emotional storylines for the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it also is a way for us to remember Tolkien in the trilogy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of his original songs were included in the score, and Peter Jackson and Fran Walsh and their team, they were very careful to make sure to celebrate the music of Tolkien, and Howard Shore definitely was
Agreed.
part of that. I mean, for me, really, the bottom line is that whenever something in my life happens, where like friends come through for me, or I come through for myself, or something, some heroic act in our modern world, I hear that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And I just
Fellowship.
feel like somewhere Tolkien is living inside that music,
Yeah.
waiting for me.
Yeah, that's badass. Well, was that just when you had the task of having to pick one? Was that just your pick?
Well, it was the first.
You didn't have to think about anything
It
else?
was the first thing that popped into my head. That the music from that movie will live with me forever.
Yeah.
I have a lot of other faves that that are in the rotation, but the really the beginning and the end for me is Howard Shore's.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, particularly my favorite track from all of that. There is hard to pin one down, but my favorite track I love in Dreams, which is the song that plays as part of the breaking of the Fellowship at the end of Fellowship of the Ring. Mm-hmm. It's sung by boys choir, and there's a really beautiful boy soprano that sings the lyrics to it, and he's backed up by this other choir. And it's a really beautiful song. The lyrics are from Tolkien himself, and the orchestration makes it very ethereal. It really underscores the aspect of Lord of the Rings that is mysterious, that is like something that we can't understand on this plane of existence.
Yeah.
The music taps into that totally.
Well,
Very nice.
Michael, what about you? What was your favorite score that you had to pin down?
It was difficult, but I actually had to go with the first thing that popped in my head, which was Back to the Future score.
Good
Nice.
choice,
part one
dude.
by
Mr. Silvestri.
Yes, Mr. Silvestri. Thank you, Alan. You're fantastic. I chose it because it's so dreamlike and it's like a fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And as you go through the story, it gets more and more serious.
Yeah.
And at the end, you get the fantasy back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It always leads back to that bling, bling,
Yeah.
just winding off into the distance. But
I have a great story. When I went to the gym one time, and I, like, in my old apartment complex, I was on the opposite side of the complex from where my gym was, and I had a great workout, and I was like, I was like riding high, the endorphins are kicking in and all that. I don't work out often, so obviously it was a great feeling. So, and that came on. It was just the overture, the da da da, and as that came on, I just started like skipping. I was like, yeah, running back. Yeah, I was like, fuck, and then I realized that like people could just be eating dinner and like looking out their windows and seeing me frolic, back to my apartment
That's
complex.
too good.
So I stopped.
That is also similar to Lord of the Rings. That music plays as like a realization for me.
Yeah.
Like when it's like.
Anytime I'm hiking, that's
like,
in my head.
It's a question. Like, oh my god, I answered a question of mine somewhere, somehow.
I understand more somehow now.
I'm learning myself. Bling.
Yeah. Well, that's what your text message alert on my phone is. That
Because I love that movie so much.
yeah, like when you first see Doc Brown, yeah.
Great Scott!
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
And Chris, what about you?
I actually had to think about this for a while because I've never really been asked what my favorite film score is.
I know, me
So
either.
in the moment, I'm like, holy crap. But after thinking very long and hard, it actually has to be Psycho, Mr. Bernard Herrmann.
Fantastic work.
I
All
have to go with
strings.
that, all strings. And
Yeah.
to be honest with you, till this day, it actually holds up. Like,
Yeah.
the eeriness, you can listen to it in the daytime, nighttime.
Everybody knows it.
Yeah, like,
It's eerie.
yeah, everyone knows exactly.
Yeah.
It's so iconic, but it just holds up no matter what.
It's like the Jaws theme. Everybody knows
Yes.
it.
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
If
Exactly.
you've ever taken a shower, you know the Psycho theme because your parents scared you with it when you were a kid. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
But
good
yeah,
times.
like, but even within like just Bernard Herrmann's like fucking amazingness of things he's done, I actually had a hard time picking because he's done Vertigo, he's done a couple things for Twilight Zone, and
Yeah.
Twilight Zone classic.
it's like, okay, well, where do we go from there? But yes, Psycho would have to be.
Come with us if you will.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Hands
Hell yeah.
down.
Hell
That
yeah.
sounds great.
I had a lot of trouble because my life is movie scores. Like I live my life. I don't listen to the radio very often. I listen to movie scores.
Well, you're not missing much, man.
Yeah. So it was very hard for me to pick, and I actually had one in mind, and I wore a Star Wars shirt because it was like, to me, that theme, even the just opening Star Wars like main title makes me cry. Like when I see it on the big screen, like it still makes me feel like great. Binary Sunset and Han and Leia theme, all that stuff is
Fantastic.
beautiful. John Williams at his best.
Absolutely the best.
That was going to be my pick, but then
Oh.
I thought about it a little bit more, and I think my favorite score of all time is from The Shining.
Good
Fantastic
choice.
choice.
Okay.
The main reason I picked that is I used to work in reality TV, and I wasn't very proud of it, but I did make some clips on The Soup, which were great. But I was always listening to that soundtrack when I was at work, and it started to drive me crazy, which is why I got out of reality TV.
Uh-huh.
Like I was literally like
It's a good
sitting there,
sign.
and I could just see myself like having coffee in the morning, looking out of like a frosted glass window, like Jack does in the movie, like this family playing out in the street, like like,
I could go for killing them.
yeah. But no, it just makes me feel something. Like if I was listening to that at night in headphones in an empty house, I would be scared shitless.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it really makes me feel that way, and it's makes me feel something.
No,
big.
that score is so eerie because you start to suspect that like the monster at the heart of the Minotaur is you.
Yeah.
That's what that music suggests. You're like, I am very concerned at what this like like super rhythmic heartbeat is starting to do to my brain waves
Yeah.
and the blood pumping
And I
through
mean,
my
like,
veins.
I'm surprised it wasn't like a John Carpenter theme, like The
Yeah.
Thing,
Yeah.
like, I mean, there's so many. There's so many Hans Zimmer themes, like Backdraft, stuff like that. That's amazing. And then there's, like, upcoming scores, like Rogue One. Like, what I've seen from Rogue One
Yeah.
sounds
fantastic.
amazing. Every time I hear that in the movie theater, and it's like, bling!
It's only like a little taste
I'm
of
just
what's
like,
coming.
oh, take my money now, Disney!
Yeah, the super cool breakdown of the
Yeah.
Imperial theme that is completely reinvents the song from more for the protagonist. Like you feel that
God.
it's her song somehow. That
Yeah.
there's like this element of darkness in her, but also she fights for the rebels. So.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that.
Very
score.
excited.
Yeah.
It seems like it's gonna be great.
If they want to just like bust out some new beats to old Star Wars music, that's totally cool.
Do
Yeah.
it.
It was so
please.
heavy. It just, oh man, oh, I can't wait.
It sounded fantastic. Please.
Yeah. So I mean, any other like scores that like get honorable mention from you guys?
Yeah, Sunshine.
Sunshine,
Sunshine, of
amazing.
course.
I think the most underrated is probably the soundtrack from The Village, that track, The Gravel Road,
That's great.
by James Newton Howard. There's some really beautiful orchestration in
The
that
Conjuring.
that gets overlooked.
Conjuring's
yeah.
another really
Conjuring's
good
a
one.
That's a good
The Dark
even
Knight.
Insidious. Yeah, The Dark Knight.
Insidious
Hans
Dark Knight.
Zimmer, James Newton Howard, I think. Right. Both?
And
I'm not sure.
Howard
Both. I don't
Shore
know.
scores all of David Cronenberg's movies. So if you
Yeah.
like Howard Shore, you should also check out the score from any of David Cronenberg's, really, from the most recent one. What was the violence one with the
History of Violence.
History of Violence? That score is unbelievable for
Yeah.
Howard Shore scores.
Dude hangs down in
Oh,
that
I'm
movie.
actually gonna throw I'm gonna
Good
throw.
point.
It's not a film, but it's actually a really good soundtrack. The Last of Us,
Nice.
just because.
It's a good
Great
soundtrack.
video game.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
video game, but the soundtrack is really amazing. So
Legend of Zelda.
Honorable
Ocarina
mention.
of Time.
Yeah. Mic drop.
You shouldn't have opened the door for video games.
I'm just
say video
saying,
games,
man.
I'm going there.
Hey, we said honorable mentions. That
Yeah.
had to be one.
Yeah, this is true.
I think if we're gonna do that, then I have to say that the best score of all time is by Mark Snow on the X-Files, and you can count that entire body of work as one long score.
That's fair.
It all fits
Fair
together.
enough.
I totally agree.
Fair enough.
And speaking of the X-Files, we have an X-Files podcast called The K-Files over at HollywoodRedux.com, where you can find all of our old shows and things coming up, including shorts and sketches like Holy Shit, and our other podcast, our video game podcast, IGL, which is the Infinite Grenade Launcher podcast. That's gonna do it for the writers' room for this week, though. I'm one of your hosts, Matt.
I'm Chrysalia.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Michael.
And always coming to you from HollywoodRedux.com. Be sure to subscribe by clicking below. You can also click the like button if you enjoyed our discussion. Let us know if we missed any great scores. We know there's a ton out there. We'll probably have to do another 1 or 12 of these because there's so
least
many.
15.
Yeah.
We missed out on a lot. Ghostbusters, Jaws,
Classics that were skipped over.
everything. The Dark Knight,
Yeah.
Apollo 13. So
Part
many
2 is
things.
happening
right.
then. That's for sure.
All right, we'll do a part
Yeah.
2, I guess.
We'll do some more.
Sit back, relax, wait for it.
But be sure to let us know if we missed any of your favorites, and we'd be happy to talk to you more about that. So that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Toodaloo.